Hello, swivel heads. It's been a long time since we've had a live rendition of Nuke War News. I know that's your favorite program on my channel, on my channels, and I shall be hopefully returning to putting this content on Swivelhead News soon. So if you haven't seen my Swivelhead News channel, check it out. So guys, a lot is happening since we've had a rendition of Nuke War News. One of the biggest things, and we're shaking here. It's not an earthquake. I just touched the camera. One of the greatest, biggest, not greatest, one of the biggest news items is, of course, the revision of the Russian nuclear use policy, which says, hey, we could use a nuke if we're attacked by conventional aerospace forces, conventional weapons from a non-nuclear nation, if they're backed by a nuclear nation. Wink, wink. Hey, NATO, we're talking about you, United States, NATO, all you guys supplying Ukraine. If they hit us with a big attack, guess what? Well, a lot of people in the West are thinking they're bluffing and they're going to push it. There's it's only so far, a country can go making threats like that they can maintain credibility. And when you're a strong man like Vladimir Putin, you live by your strength. If the country you're in does not see you as strong, you cease to exist as a political enemy. You will be toppled. So there's a certain point at which, they may have to put up or shut up. That's the risk herein, especially considering how we are once again ignoring it and poking the bear, and considering how Zelensky has just been here in the United States at the UN petitioning for the permission to use longer range U.S. weapons, or to be able to strike with the weapons he already has deeper into Russian territory. So there's a lot of risk with that. And so, but the biggest news of the last few days, of course, is the events in Lebanon. Yeah, as you may know, Israel has been attacking Lebanon heavily. They have taken out uh, Nasrallah, the head of Hezbollah. He is no longer in existence. Not only that, but there was also an Iranian general present that was taken out. So we can expect some response from Iran as a result of these things. What's going to happen next? Guys, it's anybody's guess. I'm going to try to pull up my channel here to pull up the chat on my phone so I can see what folks are having to say here. So give me a second. Oops, I got to kill the sound here. General present. Yikes. Well, we got quite a few people in here. Hey, Arnold. Arnold, I've not got any of your emails. I don't know where you sent them, but I didn't get any of them. Anyway, so Kim Possible, good morning. Good to see you in here. Got a lot of our regulars back. Jason Smith, have not seen you in a long time. Where you been, buddy? All righty, guys. So let's rock on with the news. I'm about to show some articles, but guys, it's getting interesting in the Chinese proverbial curse sense of the word interesting right now. We got Norway in the house. Very good. All right, so folks, all right, let's start hitting these articles here. Let's show you what's cooking. Hit the share screen, bada bing, bada bang, and here we go. And this article here is about, of course, you've all heard about this airstrike where Nasrallah was taken out. And Nasrallah, of course, was a key instrument used by Iran. And Iran has set up 5 days of mourning over the takeout of Nasrallah. So they consider, oh, did I lose my screen sharing? No. I'm trying to adjust my screen so I can adjust my tabs, because I got an overlay tab which is coming down over what I do here. I got to pull it down some more. All right, good. Now I can click through things. Makes it kind of narrow for you guys maybe. But yeah, I've gotten some rain here. It's raining a little bit now, but I've not got real heavy rain. We had a little winds one day, but not heavy. This storm went just east of me. I mean, just east of me, and turned just north of me. We'll get into that in a little bit. So airstrike, guys. This is getting now. What? Of course, it's pretty typical that Iran would have a long mourning period, but also they don't strike back during their mourning period typically. So this could be giving them time to decide what they're going to do, any preparations they would make. Of course, we know that they have the other occasions that they've been waiting on and claiming that they would take action on. So, like when the United States took out the head of Hamas inside of Tehran. So, guys, yeah, these things are accumulating. Doug, good to see you in the house. Um, so these things are accumulating. What's going to happen? What happens next? Does Iran have to step up to maintain their honor? And how long will it take? Of course, an Iranian general got taken out in this strike, and then the Israelis started hitting another area in Beirut that supposedly the second in command of Hezbollah was located at. Did they take him out? I don't know yet. So the reports are still out there. Have to be careful. I have my so many tabs open. It's easy to close something instead of open it. So huge explosions. Yeah, this is it. See, they went after another Hezbollah leader, not just the one. Don't play. I hope this the video don't play. Anyway, so okay, the sound's out anyway. Thick black smoke can be seen building from Lebanese capital, southern suburbs. Now, here's the thing to bear in mind. What they are attacking is the southern suburbs of Beirut, not all of Beirut. And in doing so, this is primarily targeting the strongholds of Hezbollah. There are other communities in Lebanon and Beirut that don't even like Hezbollah. They are actually anti-Hezbollah and figure that Hezbollah has really dominated their country and would like to be rid of them. So there are some, and I'll show an article on this shortly, I think in here, it's in the pipeline, that there are actually Lebanese who are celebrating this. So not everyone in Lebanon is fond of Hezbollah. You might remember prior to the 1975 Lebanese Civil War, Beirut was considered a Christian nation. And that war kind of went south for Lebanon, and Hezbollah kind of worked their way in there and took a prominent place. So in any event, let's rock on here. Rodney calls them I don't even want to repeat that out loud here. Yeah, that sounds about right. Anyway, here we go. This is the 5 days of mourning I mentioned. Netanyahu returns to Israel, but his return to Israel was also rather interesting in that the Houthis targeted the Ben Gurion airport in Tel Aviv. They tried with the rockets to hit the airport when Netanyahu was flying back in. Were they trying to get him or just trying to send him a message? Did they think their weapons were accurate enough that they might have had a shot taken? Who knows? But that was mighty bold of them. Of course, the Houthis are bold. And we've been playing whack-a-mole with them for some time to no apparent effect, which is still going on. I'll show you an article on that in a little bit. So, bing, 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 Daily Mail here. All right, these articles are slow to load. Give me a second, guys, to scroll it up. All right, Houthi rebels try to blast Benjamin Netanyahu with a missile. Defiant Israeli PM shrugs off the attack as he gloats of Lebanon the score of the Beirut bombing. So there you are, guys. Like I said, they tried to take him out, apparently. Did not work so well. Those are long-range missiles coming up, by the way, from the Houthis in Yemen. It's a long way from there to the Ben Gurion airport in Tel Aviv. So you can bet that there was an article I saw back about a week ago claiming that the Iranians were actually sending Russian missiles to the Houthis in Yemen. Russian missiles. So, you know, some of the real long-range accurate missiles. Not that Iran doesn't have their own, but maybe Iran is wanting to save some of theirs for what they think is coming up next. They have supplied, of course, a lot of missiles already to the Houthis. I mean, lots and lots of missiles. I'll check the chat room in more detail shortly, guys. If I see a banner coming up for Super Chat, I'll, of course, give that recognition. So let's move on here. We're going to diverge just a minute to look at the kind of economic situation in the world because, as y'all know, the BRICS nations, Russia and China, are trying to economically ditch the dollar to do major harm to the United States. And part of what they're doing is they're buying gold to do that, to shore up their currencies, or I believe that they're about to roll out a currency which will be 40% backed by gold and 60% backed by the currencies of the participating nations or other commodities. So that's what they're talking about, guys. This really puts a big threat on the dollar, but it also is part of why gold is popping up in price. There's a few more articles on that you might want to pay attention to. U.S. to face severe dollar crisis, gold prices to skyrocket, warns Peter Schiff. He says skyrocket. Well, he's not the only one saying that, because look at this, guys. If I can get this article to come up, I might want to kill some of these articles as I bring up some of the previous ones. All right. Here they're speculating that gold may hit $3,800 per troy ounce. Wow. And that's pretty close to what Schiff was talking about. So this is Lobo Tigre. I don't know who that is, but this is some self-appointed analyst in this picture. That might be a reason y'all want to take a look at back to defythegrid.com if I can get the link to open. Maybe I need to kill some of these other links to make it happen. Let's see. Let's try to X that one out. Yeah, this is going slow tonight for some reason. How come I don't want to? Oh, I'm trying to X this out, and did it X out where I'm trying to go? I don't know what's going on here. I got too much memory taken up, I guess. Trying to kill that article. It won't die. She won't die, Captain. All right, here we are. Defy the Grid. Great name. Look at this. Gold, was said to have fallen back a little bit from the high of $2,700 per troy ounce. And it was said to be because people were taking advantage of the high price to do some profiteering and selling some of the assets they'd already acquired. But it hasn't dropped much. 26.59.80. That's still pretty darn high. That's quite high. And, the trends that have driven it there are still in existence. They're just getting stronger even. So, hey, I'm no financial advisor. Anytime you invest in anything, you stand the chance of losing your shorts. But guys, it certainly looks like the trends are all in place. And in my humble opinion, good chance that it will continue to go up. So when it's got a little bit of a price dip before the next surge might be, if you're able, a chance to invest. The cool thing about Defy the Grid is they sell these gold bats, which you can get it for smaller prices than gold coins. Of course, silver is always a great deal. Silver is something us poor folks can normally get. And you can also get silver notes that are like the gold bats. Or you can buy bullion if you so desire in gold, silver. Oh, now that they're selling copper here too. So copper is the next hot item on this whole agenda, it looks like. Goldbacks are cute. They're priced a little bit more than what you would pay per troy ounce, but they're actually pure gold, and you can get them for smaller amounts. Here, South Dakota Goldback is only South Dakota Goldback is only $5.27. So you don't have to be rich to invest in goldbacks. That's the cool thing about it. You can buy gold. That's what's cool about it. You can take and buy this, and that's about right now for trading for a 12-pack of eggs and a loaf of bread, maybe. So this is fungible stuff that you can actually put in your wallet. And I got one in my wallet right now. So let's move on here. Oh yeah, use the code. If you go to Defy the Grid, I don't have an affiliate link, but if you use the coupon code Green Greggs, you get 1% off. That's all the commission I get, but that's because they operate on such tiny commission. That's how they make their promise that you can find a better deal anywhere else. They'll meet it or beat it. They'll beat it or meet it. Which is a great offer. And who else makes that offer in that realm of commerce? I don't know. Anyway, get back to Israel. One thing the Israelis did is they apparently hacked the Beirut airport and warned an Iranian plane that was supplying stuff to Hezbollah to turn back around, and it did. So that's kind of interesting. His party is over. Who's that? Jason? If you have Ringreg's email address. Oh, anyway, so there we are, guys. His party is all right. Let's get back to this. So, yeah, another article I saw previously said that the Israelis had taken control of the airport. And I thought, how they do that? Well, apparently it was just a hacking operation. All right, I'm having a hard time getting these tabs to advance. Of course, Hezbollah has responded to the attacks on Beirut with missile attacks themselves, hitting northern Israel and now even the West Bank. So sirens West Bank were sounding, long-range rockets from Lebanon. And I saw another article claiming that something like 90 had been fired into northern Israel, maybe toward the West Bank in combination. Ooh, did I kill that article? No. And here's another thing. Hundreds demonstrating their U.S. embassy in Iraq after Nasrallah was taken out. Now, I heard another YouTuber say that our embassy was being stormed. All the sources I have checked have said that they've secured the embassy gates and it's not being stormed, at least not at this time. This is the green zone. As you might know, the green zone, the U.S. embassy in Iraq, was taken from the largest presidential palace of Saddam Hussein on the Tigris River. I believe that was where it was. Tigris River, by the bend of the river. Anyway, so the dollars party is over. Yep. The diddlers. Oh, you talking about P. Diddy? So the dollar, yeah. P. Diddy is finished. And so a lot of, hey, look at this. Christopher Napper, $5. Have some coffee on me. So, Luke, do you thank you for the super chat? And with that, I will take a swig of coffee. It's what keeps me up. I don't take my sleep lying down. I take it in a cup or sleepy. Anyway, this article says 65 rockets fired from Lebanon. It was in the hour of whenever this article was posted. I saw 90 earlier. That number varies. So a lot of stuff you can expect here. We'll go through the chat room after I get through these articles. I plan not to spend all night on here tonight. It's already late here. This article claims that Israel now occupies the moral high ground after having taken out Nasrallah. But what it's claiming is that it's done. This article claims it's done the world, and in particular the Lebanese people, an unequivocal favor. Like I mentioned, there's plenty of people in Lebanon who were not fond of Hezbollah. Lebanon's a much divided country. Hezbollah has been the largest non-state military in the world. No, they're not taken out. The Hezbollah is still existent. They now have, I believe it's the son or nephew of Nasrallah, Hassan Nasrallah, who is actually seeming to have taken over Hezbollah. I think one of his daughters was also taken out in that attack. So he said that being on that, there are celebrations right now all over Lebanon. I have many friends there and overseeing the Associated Press's coverage of the country for years. I know of the fact that no matter how the Lebanese may feel about Israel, this is one development the majority of them are happily welcoming. That's interesting. Like I said, Lebanon is a divided country, and they're not all fond of Hezbollah. So there you are. Like I said earlier, once upon a time, they were a Christian nation, the only Christian nation in the Mideast, which I used to think was interesting. I once dated a girl whose dad was a Lebanese Christian. Now, the company I worked in for so long, the first guy who mentored me in that was a Lebanese Muslim, though. He was a nice guy. He would actually wish me Merry Christmas. All right, Syrians take to the streets to celebrate Hassan Nasrallah's untimely demise, or timely demise, however you want to look at it. People cheer and clap, and the motorists honk their horns. And now these are the rebels in Syria. This is who is not everybody in Syria is on that side. You know, they're happy because Hezbollah backed Assad. Now, you know, everything about Assad is not bad. Assad did protect the Christian community in Syria. A lot of people aren't aware of that. And some of the rebels we backed were quite the opposite in that regard. Some of them were quite vicious to the Christians and other people that weren't part of their group. Let's just put it that way. Um, Since I live near Frederick, uh, Maryland, thought I would chime in. Hey there, Larry. All right, so let's see here. Oh, this is Washington Post. It's trying to block this article now. I'm trying to get to it. Oh, yeah. So here we are, guys. Israeli troops on Lebanon border say they're ready for ground invasion. So this war stands to escalate. Now, bear in mind, Israel went into Lebanon in 2006. It didn't really fare too well for them. It's a lot easier to get in than get out of, and they may face a similar situation. What the Israelis will like to do is push the Hezbollah back to, there's a certain river they want them back on the other side of. And so they're trying to push them back into that area at least to give them a little buffer room. They're hoping that Israelis that have been run out of northern Israel can return home. And it's what, 67 million people, something crazy, a large number like that who, no, it's not that many, but it's a lot of, a good number of Israelis that were displaced from their home area there. So they're trying to reestablish that. So I don't know. Israel, the Hezbollah has an extensive tunnel network. This would be a very problematic invasion now, probably a lot harder than what happened in 2006, but that's why they pummeled the heck out of the area with bombs, large bombs at that. Can they pull it off? Who knows? We shall see what will become of this. The 2006 adventure did not work out so well to them. It ended in the UN Resolution 1701. Now, the UN Resolution 1701 had the Hezbollah would be on the north side of that river, in which they came south of. So it may be that Hezbollah and Israel could both agree to abide by that resolution and end this conflict. Would that work? I don't know. We shall see. So, well, that might happen, Ace Lee. If Israel gets overwhelmed, especially if Iran enters this and makes a huge attack. That may be one reason Iran has been a little more calculating lately, because they know if they push Israel too far, they're facing a nuclear war. Now, we know that Iran has lots of bunkers. It has their stuff deep in bunkers and tunnels. Of course, you hear this a lot from our good friend Canadian Prepper, Nate over there, Canadian Prepper. But still, it's not something Iran wants to wish upon themselves. A full nuclear attack from Israel would still be devastating. So, would that happen? What would come next? Of course, there's those that believe that, hey, they got to have something like that for the 12th Imam to come forward, which is a principal tenet of the Shia faith. So, I don't know. The current president of Iran was making a lot of overtures. Hey, we don't want a war with Israel. Let's try to make peace. And he started talking a lot of this stuff down before these latest attacks. Can he keep up that kind of language? That's going to be a difficult proposition for him. So we shall see how that will turn out. I don't know, but the prospects for war in the Middle East are going, well, it's already here. It's gone up, because the Israelis are looking to go into Lebanon. That's huge. Well, the war tensions around the entire world are going up. We are sliding closer and closer to World War III. Well, we're in World War III. We're sliding closer and closer to probably American engagement, NATO engagement, and to this war expanding into something that we may not be able to handle, because we're not set up for a multi-front war. And it's said that we only have about 3 to 4 weeks worth of munitions to fight either Russia or China or whoever we take on, Iran. So how is that supposed to work out? In the meantime, we're expending that stuff hand over fist, playing whack-a-mole with the Houthis, which I'm sure China and Iran and Russia are all giggling over that. Because U.S. warships under attack in Red Sea, nearly 24 incoming missiles and drones are shot down. Again, more whack-a-mole. What are we shooting them down with? Munitions that might be better used somewhere else. What have we accomplished with the Houthis? They just keep doing the same thing. We're, like I've said from the beginning, I said months and months and months and months ago that all we were accomplishing over there was a protracted game of whack-a-mole. It wasn't really affecting the Houthis' operational capabilities, and we were wasting precious munitions. And here we are today. Same sad story, same sad song. But what I tell you guys way back then, I said every day you'll be able to open the news and it'll be the same story. Was I wrong? If you think I missed that and I was wrong, put a 1 in the chat room. If you think I was spot on, I'd like to see a 2 in the chat room on that one, because I just don't see what we're accomplishing over there. Why are we even engaged with the Houthis? The Red Sea is just practically shut down for trade. I mean, there's some stuff slipping through, but it's precious little. So we're oh yeah, and now we're also looking at a huge strike in our ports. So guys, they're saying this strike that they're talking about starting on the 1st of October on Gulf Coast and East Coast ports may just cripple the United States economy. Joe Biden don't want to be anti-union, so he don't want to come down on the union. At the same time, he's probably chewing his fingers because he's of course wanting to keep Kamala elected. He knows that if the strike does proceed and the shortages occur and inflation kicks up, it's not going to help Kamala's chances in the election coming up real soon. Anyway. For those that say that, well, if Trump gets elected, we're instantly automatically going to have a war with Iran, maybe not, because he just made an overture to Iran talking about negotiating with them. And but his one tenet, his one thing he's fast to is that they cannot have a nuke. So yeah, he may be most likely to just open war on Iran in the United States, but he is saying, hey, I will negotiate with them. And that's a surprise to a lot of people and goes counter to narratives you hear on some other channels. So the chance for peace isn't all lost. It's just getting a lot more precarious. He even met with Zelensky. Imagine that. But hey, that's not the only game in town. U.S. Coast Guard watching uptick in Russian and China activity near Alaska, because they're sending a lot of bombers and ships and joint operations between China and the Russian forces, both the Navy and Air Forces. And another article here, Newsweek, talking about this increased presence, China's presence in the northern Pacific Ocean. Now here they're talking about they've taken over vast areas of fisheries south of Alaska, and they're catching all kind of big crabs and stuff. If you've been watching some of the reports from our Alaskan fishers, are claiming they're not getting any crabs. Maybe it's because the Chinese are getting them all south of there. I don't know. But I've seen some pictures that show them with some big crab harvest on the Chinese boats. So, but then there's this story. China accused of trying to cover up major blunder involving the most advanced nuclear submarine. As some of you know, that submarine sunk right as they launched it, right in the harbor where they were building it. Sunk right there. Did it have a nuclear reactor on board? What did they have on board? What kind of risk are they facing there? But I've done some very extensive research into this. And after an in-depth root cause analysis of this sinking of their nuclear submarine, I came up with the answer to why it sunk. Yes, sir, I got the answer. Why did this submarine sink? Plain and simple, it was made in China. It sunk because it's made in China. How about that, guys? You got to stick tongue in cheek and have a little fun with this stuff. Now, you got to remember, China's building ships hand over fist, ships and subs. So they're on pace to, if their economy, which is faltering badly, can permit to at some point surpass our Navy. Within their local sphere, our Navy would be hard-pressed to deal with the Chinese. A lot of their ships are not deep water ships, but those are putting off the coast of Alaska are. So blue water ships, that's what we call them. But, we ain't got too much to brag about over here, because shipbuilder believes faulty wells on U.S. naval vessels were intentional. And we got a lot of people in this country that no longer love this country. We got a lot of people right here who who hate America. And some of them are taking jobs and supposedly serving the country. So, Sasquatch Mania, I'm glad somebody got a little fun out of that. Yeah, it was made in China. That's right. But yeah, we got to watch it here too, guys. So, we need, and the answer to this is better quality assurance. So that will help that situation. Something that Bowen needs to take to heart, right? Quit thwarting your safety community and your quality assurance people. Bowen, the same way with their shipbuilders. They pay a lot of attention to it. Anywho, well, World War III fears intensify. I told you it's nuclear news as Russian drone strikes threaten NATO allies. So what happens? One drone out of maybe three that was attacking this is Ukrainian town of Ishmael. That sounds like a Iranian name almost, or some Islamic name, but and it might have been a name by the Islam Muslims because at one time that area was under Muslim domination, I guess, at some point in history as they moved back and forth. But Ismail was attacked, and to get at it, one of the Russian drones flew over Romanian airspace, and so the Romanians scrambled their jets. Romania is a NATO ally, but this is not an incident that caused a war between, of course, NATO and Russia. But what's it take? All it takes is something messing up to start to give NATO the excuse they're looking for to launch. Okay, what's going on here? I thought I had that in on NATO. Jeez, this went on here earlier. All right, what this article is, I can't pull it up because it just suddenly wants me to log in. That wasn't here when I pulled it up earlier. NATO is planning for mass casualties on the battlefield. They're setting up evacuation trains and other things for their wounded in a war with Russia. This kind of insinuates the seriousness that NATO is considering combat with Russia. So we may be on tap for a full-blown World War III with Russia, China. Who knows, guys? It's not looking good. And Russian colonel, head of the drone program. The drone center was eliminated by who? Special ops. Was it Ukrainian? Probably. Wow, guys. So, West obtains evidence that China supplied weapons to Russia for war with Ukraine. Well, you think? Of course they did. This is news? You got to be kidding me. Oh, we found the evidence. Look at this. Of course they did. We knew that. Well, that's supplying, of course, Biden, don't do it, China, don't do it, don't do it. If you did, I'm going to spank your hand. And like that's going to dissuade China. As we know, China and Russia have a deep alliance between them, and that alliance will be in place until such time as the United States is no longer an effective deterrent to either one. They'll all turn on each other. So that's the play game. And Russia's biggest threat probably isn't the United States, it's actually China. It's that their most immediate threat right now is probably the United States, NATO. So that's why we've driven the bear into the lap of the dragon. Shame on us. Anyway, of course, how do we tell China not to supply weapons to Russia while we're supplying Ukraine in great amounts? But okay, now the Border Patrol is spanking Kamala Harris over her border visit. She just suddenly discovered a southern border, went down there to make a whopping 20-minute speech claiming she was going to do all kind of great and wonderful things and border security and blah, blah, blah. Of course, she said earlier, about a year or two ago, she claimed the border was secure. Anyway, so she made a big campaign stop down there in Douglas, Arizona. And of course, she attacked Trump because it's believed that he led the effort that caused a Senate bill to fail, which, I've covered that in the past. That bill was not going to shut down the border. the administration had the full ability to shut down the border. It was just going to limit the number of people crossing the 5,000 to 6,000 a day. You got to be kidding me. That's still an invasion. Holy smoke, guys. And of course, that's crossing the border. That's not referring to the aircraft that fly people in. That's Doug about the aircraft. Yeah, Doug's in the house. Everybody check out Doug's channel. If you're not subscribed to Doug's channel, Uncommon News 777, go for it. Is Doug still with us here? Hey, just Mike. So, yeah, thanks for the call for a thumbs up. All righty. So, I'm hearing something. What am I hearing? Oops. I'm killed there. Yikes. You try to close something and something else pops up. Yikes. I hate that. Anyway, trying to close that out and it's trying to pop up something else on me. Anyway, she's suddenly pro-wall after having called it Trump's medieval vanity project. Yeah, she's not pro. You believe she's pro-wall? Do y'all believe that Kamala Harris is there to stop immigration, that she's going to support the wall and stop immigration? If you believe what Kamala Harris, if you're picking up what Kamala Harris is putting down, put a 3 in the chat room. If you ain't buying it, I'd like to see a 4. I don't remember seeing any votes when I asked for earlier. Let's see here. If you're buying what she's putting down, if you're picking it up, if you're believing her, put a 3 in the chat room. If you're not buying it, I'd like to see a 4. Anyway, well, Rodney's not buying it. Jason's not buying it. Bustin' Bass is not buying it. It's impossible. Nobody's buying it. Sasquatch, Arnold, all right. So if that's true, then how come the DOJ, the Biden-Harris DOJ, is suing the great state of Alabama over its effort to remove non-citizens from voter rolls? Now you see what it's really all about. There it is, guys. And what business is it of theirs? And why would you be trying to stop somebody from taking non-citizens who don't have the right to vote off the rolls? Why would you be suing a state over that? This is ridiculous. And there's the proof in the pudding. If they were serious, they wouldn't be doing this. Now we know what the game is truly all about. I mean, the DOJ has spoken. They've proven what we've been saying all along. How about that? Anyway, this is just hidden for you. Oh. Anyway, network screening. Here, guys, how about this? News networks aren't reporting this, but we've got over 425,000 known criminal migrants free in the United States. That's nearly 500,000. That's crazy. That's insane. 425,000. Holy guac smoke a moly, guys. That's huge. No wonder we're having such a problem. Then you look at the Trinidad de Agua gang. 100th main commercial. I hate this. It's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. Honestly, when I started this, I thought, oh, I have to do like 4 of these. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? Stop. Just have to kill the whole darn page. I hate it when you open a page and the video starts playing. I had this ad blocker for a while. It stopped some of that nonsense, but now the ad blockers popping up on me on almost everything I open. It's getting to be I regret having subscribed to it because it just pops up constantly. Anyway, so Democrats talk about protecting democracy, but yet they want to tear it down. They want to get rid of the filibuster. They want to get rid of the electoral college. They want to do all kind of things that would tear our republic apart. You know, our republic has certain provisions that prevent the tyranny of the majority. So the small states could still have a say. So what's going to happen if they get rid of the electoral college? You know, of course, they so love democracy, they installed a candidate that nobody voted for in the primaries. I don't know. What do you think about that, guys? So Yeah, so they want to cram their left-wing agendas down our throat. So what about that? I'll talk about the Electoral College here. Well, what's the advantage of Electoral College? It keeps the states, it gives them some, ability to vote. See, they don't even like the Senate because the Senate is two two members per state. And that's the upper house. That's also intended to keep the House is representative of the majority, but they want to. They don't like the Senate. They don't like the Supreme Court. They don't like the Electoral College. What they want to have is pure democracy. Well, no republic. No, excuse me. If you have pure democracy, you're not a republic. No nation has no government that's a democracy survives a generation because they vote themselves into bankruptcy out of the largesse of the Treasury. But it looks like they've, through all the bureaucracy that we've created, we've found a pathway to doing the same thing anyway. So that's why I'm no fan of big government. If you should see my latest videos I've posted on that. And I think I need to do some more content on that notion. Anyway, earthquakes. Wow, guys, look at Alaska and look at Southern California here on the earthquake map. It is cooking. We got some big ones out here too. 5.1 Volcano Islands, Japan. 5.1 in the Philippines. We got a 5.0 in the Solomon Islands. But let's key in here and look at what's going on in Southern California. Wow, guys. There's something about the shake loose. That's a lot of activity down there. Small ones, but that's like, what's this guy up here? Walker, California. What's over Walker, California? We've seen them on here before. Bodfish, California, Malibu. Now, these are close to San Andreas. Fontana, this is right on the San Andreas. Apparently right here. Cabazon, I don't know how you say that. California. And one down here in Mexico, 3.2. We got Jellystone National Park with Yogi Bear up here. Apparently something close to that. Stanley, Idaho. Anyway. Yeah, the world's just shaking and a baking. And not a lot of dancing going on in Puerto Rico, but somebody's dancing down there. 2.7, something off the coast of Mexico and right here, Porta Mandrio. I don't know how you say that. So a lot of shaking going on. There's always something in the Andes, Chile area. All right, space weather. I'm about to get the chat room, guys. We'll hit the other weather just a little bit. So we got this comet that everybody's claiming is bright, and you can see it, and there's about a minute exposure there. I can't see it because we're under the clouds of that storm Helene. I can't see nothing, no stars, no moon, no nothing but clouds. It's been cool here today. It only got to 65 degrees here. Aurora looks like it's pretty active. I don't know. Asteroids. We've had some close calls here recently. But what's predicted, this one was only a tenth of the distance between the Earth and the Moon. It was only 7 meters in size, but it was coming on fair velocity at 11.5 kilometers a second. But that's already passed as of yesterday. But nothing ahead is coming between the Earth and the Moon that we know of. But what happens is you find all these after the fact, all these real close ones. That was a third of the way. That one was 7/10 of the way. We always discover these last minute, guys. Now, that's why you got 2024 SS, 2024 ST. It means those are all recent discoveries. So we'll find more. There'll always be something out there in that regard. Now, if we look at windy, we can see that there's still some circulation right here between the border of Kentucky and Tennessee. Most of the rain is now offshore. This light rain, we got a little bit of light rain right here, right now, just very light, and that's what this blue is. But all this is still cloud and shrouded right now. Hopefully that'll break up. We'll get a little sunshine. It needs to warm up a little bit. You can see that It's 64 in Ardmore, which is right close to me. It's been about the same temperature all day long. 65 was our high. Even Memphis is only 66, Atlanta 64. Guys, there were horrific flooding from Florida up through Atlanta, up through South Carolina, North Carolina, and Eastern Tennessee, right here in the mountains between North Carolina and Tennessee. These rains really dropped out real heavy. And I-40, the interstate that I take when I go west of here out to Arizona, was actually washed out. Mudslides and washed. A lot of other highways were washed out. People's homes were underwater. Towns were underwater. We had millions of people out of power, all the way even some of these northern states up here, Indiana, Ohio. The power losses were very heavy. The storm just been a catastrophe for people in these areas, especially due to the flooding. Flooding is one of the worst things of hurricanes. If y'all will pray for these folks, if you got any way to help them out. Maybe some of you are in these areas that are listening now. Maybe you just got your power restored. If you're listening to me, it means you probably have power. There's some echo in here. Now this room's so empty. I don't know if y'all can pick any of that up. Anyway, guys, this has been a real catastrophe, guys. My heart goes out to all these people who've been suffering mightily as a result of that. Phoenix is 89, Albuquerque 66, Oklahoma City 64, Fargo 62, St. Paul 59 for Brian Parendi, who says I never mentioned Minnesota. 52 over here. Portland's 52. It looks like the whole west coast over here is 52 until you get to San Jose. It's warmed up to whole 55 degrees. Even Los Angeles is 59. But the lost wages is 80. How about that, guys? Slick, Salt Lake City is 68. So there we are, guys. A lot of temperature variations around. Toronto, 64. We'll do a quick look down. We got Norway in the house. We'll go to Norway in a minute. Let's go to Australia. I know we got Rodney in the house. Getting to be springtime down there. Sydney 62, Melbourne's 55, Townsville 75, Alice Springs is 70. That'll heat up in the summer. What's Weepaw? 82. Wow, that's just like the typical temperature Weepaw, 82. It's almost always 82 in Weepaw. New Plymouth is 50. Christchurch is 50. Dundee is 46. Bird. All right. Let's get up to Europe real quick. Who else we got from Europe in the house tonight? We got any other countries in Europe represented? On the rain down here in this area. So I'm getting these things trying to get me to subscribe. I'll have to hit refresh. It might knock me out of this stuff. Norway. How do you say this? I say Oslo is 52. Stavanger, how do you say that? Is 57. We got 52 up here, 48, 46, 35, 39. Up here where the Russians have their bases, 39. Anybody in the house from England? Iceland's 30. Look at that, man. I guess my city Reykjavik is 39. Inverness, Scotland, 59. Glasgow's 59. Douglas, 50 over here. Hull, 62. London, 62. All right, what happens if I hit refresh? Is it going to take me back to the beginning? No, okay, it's clearing the screen out. Good. All righty, folks. Kyiv is 68. Somewhere in Kyiv than is here. Moscow, 68, same temperature as Kyiv. In Madrid, no, excuse me, Madrid is 59 and Paris is 52. All right. Copenhagen, 53. Stockholm, 46. All right, enough of that. Stop the share. Hey, hello. All right, let's check out the chat room and see what folks are saying tonight. Is already it's 3:24 in the morning here. Hey, Jesse's still in the house. Hey, Jesse, how you doing? Thought the two A's unconstitutional. Yeah, you know what? And Kamala is talking about by executive order. Chris, she's talking about using executive order to thwart amendments to the Constitution. Executive order, not even law. What gives her the power to do that? And why should we even have executive orders? Who started executive orders? Lincoln. I think this would be an executive order to rescind all executive orders. Wouldn't that be cool? All right. So we got Dawn Dawn, first comment. That's a good name for somebody making a first comment, like the break of day, Dawn. Hey, yo, hello. Morning, said Kim Possible. Good morning, said Mercy and Grace. John Sasquatch Moon. Good evening, Greg. Yeah. All right. Good to see my Jason, my two Schmidts in the house, Arnold Schmidt and Jason Schmidt, pair of Schmidts. David, hi, Greg. Are you ready? Just tell me some more. Oh, just sell me some more worms. Well, I'm down to 10 sled beds. It's just 5 cubic yards of worms. I don't be planning to ship them. I plan them to be local sales, and they're all out in Arizona right now. So, what caused the barn fire? Well, had an insurance investigator going over it. I got my suspicions. Good to see Norway in the house. All right. So, hello from the Scottish Highlands. Hey, there you go, Alex. Good to see you in the house. Got 125 in the room right now. Doug, are you still with us? And here is Denmark. Wow, Denmark too. Good thing I looked at Copenhagen, right? Or wait a minute. Yeah, all right, let's see here. We got a lot of folks from the Nordic nations, which I got a lot of my bloodline comes from there. Over half my bloodline is from the Nordic side of the world. So you're my long lost cousins. Don't it show? All right. Pre-lineup of the October 9th of birthing. Lempo, 5 inches of rain in 48 hours east of Atlanta. Well, hello, 128 Georgia. Yeah, that's a lot of rain to get that fast. Greg, we have 2 moons now. There's not going to tip over. It's just a little asteroid. Zimbabwe just dropped 40% on US dollar. Wow. Wow, you imagine that Zimbabwe that had such runaway inflation for so long. They'd be kicking their dollar now. $80 gold bag. Yeah, some of them are pricier. The bigger they are, the more price you get them because they're made of pure gold. Okay. It's a PD party. Yeah, looks like Mike. So Jason, was it the dollar or P. Diddy? Who are you talking about there? Yeah, Christopher Napier. Appreciate the super chat. Kim Possible. Kim, I'll check my PayPal link here in a little bit. All right. I'm going to give credit where it's due. Benz, I now live near, how you live near Frederick, Maryland? I thought I would chime in. Have you got any rain up in Frederick? Baltimore. We got two Marylanders in here at least. Yeah, I've spent some time up in Kevin John, Maryland. I got a friend that lives there. I used to go and stay with him a lot when I was going in and doing work in Washington, D.C. Some of you know I run the halls of Congress and other things. Who is keeping manholes open to sink American submarine? Yeah, we had an American submarine that sunk due to somebody having left a manhole open. That is absolutely true. Cops get a call of a warehouse burglary. They race to the scene with sirens blazing to scare off the intruders. They pop their trunks. Yeah, there you go. Sounds about right, Larry. Kim, I think some aren't sliding toward war, they're running. That's the scary part. It looks like, well, too many people want war. And if they want it that bad, they're probably going to get it. Well, Showmaiden's in the house. Good to see you, Showmaiden. The Trump watch collection. Jason, thanks for calling the thumbs up. Why has the King of Jordan with Governor Moore in Maryland the other day? That's a good question. Anybody see the satellite pics from the U.S. Department of Defense of the Chinese side? Yeah. Yes, I just talked about that. I didn't show the pics, but I talked about it. Maybe Fu Wong Fang forgot to close the hatch. That might be it, Rodney. See, better quality of workers. And quite a few drones drop into Romania and Poland. Yeah, that's the where the risk of war starts picking up. It's when you accidentally send a missile or a drone awry, especially if it explodes in another country. I mean, there's a lot of folks in NATO are just looking for an excuse. Hey, just Mike, and all military forces of America, we have 10 times as many boats and ships as China. Really? See, China has got a lot of boats that are operable within the close to shore region of China. They're not deep water, blue water ships, especially like the Coast Guard and stuff, like militia boats and things like that. Of course, it's a boat if it goes underwater and a ship if it floats on top, right, according to naval parlance. But yeah, we would have a hard time dealing with it. Not saying it couldn't be done, but with all the anti-access aerial and area anti-access and access denial systems, all the missiles, the rocket forces in China, we would have a hard time operating in the South China Sea. And I did send an article recently that claimed that China's had a plan since 2014 to attack 5 nations at once in the South China Sea. That's why they built, and that's claimed that's why they built and militarized all those islands along the so-called 9-dash line within what should be the territories, marine territories of all these other nations in that area. If you eliminate the electoral college, you might as well eliminate the states. Jason, that's the fear. Of course, that's exactly what the Dems would like. Yeah. Rick Scott thinks Kamala Harris should get her down to Florida rather than visit the Mexican border. Interesting. Ring Greg's, check this mail for your trip to Walmart. Oh, you sent it to Power Grid. Well, I thought I told you the other one. I will look at it. See if there's something in there. Hang on. Let's pull it up. That's wrong. Let's pull it up. So be over. The problem is that particular email, I get tons of email on. Can you tell me when you sent an email, Jason? Jason Arnold. That particular email is a floodgate. I actually use that to email myself all these articles in. So it's getting hundreds of emails per day. So something can easily get lost over there. I'm scrolling back 2 days. Oops, what was that? Human resources. Oh. back to Thursday, scrolling back. Tuesday, I know it wasn't for Tuesday because I ain't seen anything, Arnold. So, hold on. What is that? Look for Arnold's email. Checking this folder called Other. I don't know. You might want to resend it, Arnold. I'm not seeing it. Check the junk folder. 4 emails in the junk folder. Ah, went to the junk folder. All right, I'll check it in a little bit, Arnold. I did get an email. Well, I went to the junk folder. All right. So Cal is going to fall away. Going to fall in the ocean there, LEHMAN'S. They say Civil War. Oh, wait. Cal would just become an island. Oh, okay. Yeah, some of us would kind of like to push it offshore anyway, right? So suggest you sell my house. That's customers continuity government plan. Who will be in charge? Oh yeah, there's a whole new thing about continuity government plan. And on one scenario, the head of NORAD would be in charge. And some people are trying to pass a new amendment. Yeah, if that don't pass. And they want to make it where they replace Congress with appointments, not a democratic process, guys. Hey, Chinook, how you doing? Are you in Alaska, Chinook? Chinook is in Alaska. Chinook is a wind that blows from the south and warms things up. Anyway, let's see here. I lived in Alaska 2 years. Pop out and hit that. Thank you there, just mate. Yeah, we need some thumbs up, guys. Vivian, how you doing? Self-reliance, one step at a time. Good morning. How's your space? Oh, not allowed to curse Putin on YouTube. Now let's see here. Putin kissing the Quran, really? I haven't seen that. Well, these troops been checking that. Yeah, he does. Devin, Steve, how you doing? Okay, yeah, I got it. It went into my junk email folder for some reason. I told China screen doors in the sub was a bad idea. Well, they just aren't listening. I'm serious. I wrote a comment against him. I got blocked and reported. Yeah, that's surprising. That's surprising because the platform really don't love him too much. But hey, who knows? Pam, how you doing? Good to see you here. Just my, I'm in Alabama right now, trying to get my weather wherewithal back to get back to Arizona again. I did not tell China screen doors on subs helps ventilation. There you go. Jesse, that's it. Tell all the Chinese that, hey, you need screen doors on your subs. Good one there, Jesse. Why is it I have to refresh to get the current number of people watching? Yeah, it's been a old problem, this platform. It's scarier than even they want. It's scarier that they even want that process. It tells you how close we are to all that war. Yes, this whole continuity government push. Why? From central Alberta, 1 hour north of Calgary. Yeah, y'all do call them Chinooks there too. That's right. All righty. Jason emailed me. Wow, thank you. Arnold sent me a super chat to pick up at Walmart. Salute, Arnold. Thank you, sir. Very generous. So I will have to take a photo. I got to move this out of the junk folder so they don't delete it. Put it over here in the inbox. Boing. Through the inbox. Yeah, okay. I click the never send a junk folder again. There we go. Very good. Oh, I need to make a trip to Walmart. Kim Possible. Uh, used to live in Frankston. Okay. China hired Boeing to build their sub. That's it. That's it. Yeah. Wow. Look up how blurry here it looks like. All right, folks, let me check PayPal. See if anybody tossed anything that way. Give me a second. Bing, bada bang, gotta find it. So much stuff in. I get so many things on my screen here. There it is. Yeah. I don't know what my password is. Impossible. Salute to you for the nice $20 super chat to my PayPal account. Thank you very much. Much appreciative. She almost always sends something. So that really helps out a lot. Very good. Yeah, my PayPal account was running dry. Hadn't done many videos lately. All righty, folks. Um, let's see if I can open this chat up in my other thing here where it should be playing. All right. Scooby Snacks. Good to see you, Scooby Snacks. Hadn't seen you in a while. I'm starting to get what you call a ocular migraine. It's a thing that occurs in your field of vision. It don't hurt. I don't get a headache, but I get it starts out with a little bitty bright spot in my field of vision. That's what I'm seeing right now. It will grow it'll grow to fill my entire field of vision. It's growing now. And it looks like looking through a kaleidoscope of bright shimmering, usually red, green, purple, orange colors. It's crazy. It's the first time I had it, it scared me. And I just happened to mention to a coworker who saw the wall from me that was an engineer, had been an optometrist. He told me what it was. I didn't know to then. I thought something was bad wrong. I'm sure there's people that would pay to have such a some hallucination like this, but it's a real nuisance. So it makes it hard to look at screens and things. A lot of plantain. Oh, that sounds good. Was it Kim Possible superhero? Yeah, there was used to be a cartoon with a Kim Possible. Remember that? She was like a computer savvy Superhero. There we go. Kim Possible TV series. Are you talking about the cartoon, or is there some other show? That's LSD from the 70s. No, I never did any of that stuff. I never, they claim that will can come back on. No, I never did anything like that. Ocular migraines do occur. My older brother used to get them too. Um, they don't know why they occur. I wished I knew. Maybe a lack of sleep. Although my brother slept, I don't. Well, he's sleeping for good now. He's passed away. The older one did. But my oldest brother's still alive. Nikki's Nook. Hello, everyone. It's been a while. We're good to see you here. Solar flares and cosmos can affect the body. Yeah, but they still don't know what. Yeah, the cartoon was there last year. Yeah, I remember the cartoon, Kim Possible. I didn't know maybe if it had been some other Kim Possible. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's just starting. So, well, we've been here for a few minutes, 70 minutes. It's already almost 4 a.m. here. So I think that when my ocular migraine might be a good time to call it a night because it'll be very hard to see the screen. Looking at something that's lit up like a screen when you got one of these gets to be kind of hard to do. So I think with that, we're going to call it a night. We're missing New Days tonight. I heard from her since she caught her plane to go on her little trip. So I hope she's doing well. I take vitamin D too. So I'm not lacking on D3. I take D3. I'm not lacking in vitamin D. One time I had my doctor scared because he said I had too much in me. I take vitamin K2 to go with D3. They kind of work together. You really don't want one without the other. Alrighty, folks, but I'm not a doctor. It's not medical advice. If you want medical advice, go see your doctor. That's what I have to say because the AMA is ensured we have such a great and wonderful freedom of speech in this country. Yeah, right. Anyway, well, good night, Sasquatch Moon. Yeah, it's not a ache, it's a visual phenomenology. It's called a ocular migraine, but it's not a, I don't know, maybe some people it hurts. It don't hurt with me. It just messes up my field of vision. Anyway, well, thank you everyone for being here tonight. Thank you, super chatters. Thank you, mods. Thank you one and all for being with us. Thank you everybody for watching. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up on your way out if you haven't already done so. And everyone across the globe who's watching tonight, to each and every one of you, I say have a good night, good day, wherever you are. Before you go to bed, pray for all the people who've been affected by this storm and the wars. A lot of innocent people are falling victim to these things. So, and just make sure you remember them in your prayers. Also, Elton Butterfield's wife passed away. She was only 42-year-old. So everybody say a prayer for him. He's been a big follower of our channel for a long time. So just remember these people in your prayers tonight. Uh, anyway, with that, I want to say again, and Judy is she's in chemo right now. Judy Dowell. So to one and all, have a good night, good day wherever you are. With that, Greg out.